Thank you. Disappointed in, obviously, in the 0-2 start in the conference. Playing two of the best teams, we knew going in that we were going to have to play our best, and we didn't do that. We basically self-destructed in both of the two conference games that we had pretty much in the second half of the fourth quarter. We've got to play better on offense. We've got to protect the ball better. Defensively, we've gotten better. We're much improved. We're tackling better. Again, playing those two potent offenses will put pressure on your defense. I was proud of how our football team prepared for both of them. We just weren't good enough to get it done in the second half of either one of those games. Now we're off and playing on the road in a conference game at Connecticut, a team that played last Thursday night, and so they've had a couple of extra days to get ready. But we have our open date next week, so we'll put everything we've got into this week. Try to get some people back healthy. We're still missing our quarterback and Hayden Moore, playing our backup quarterback, and Ross Trail. And we got a safety back last week. Hopefully we can get a few more guys 100% healthy going into this game this week.
Say questions for Coach Tuberville, please. Star 1 on your telephone keypad to join the queue. The operator will introduce you.
We'll first hear from Dan Tortora with WakeUpCallDT.com.
Good afternoon, Coach. How are you?
Good morning. Doing good. You?
Doing well. Thanks for asking. I know you obviously mentioned the injury to Hayden Moore and Ross Trail. Just what you can say, I mean, obviously as a freshman in this league and in college football in general, just what you've seen from him, what you've taken away from him at this point, and maybe his leadership despite the fact being young.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to be a leader when you're a freshman, redshirt freshman. At quarterback, you've got so much to learn. I think we're missing a little bit of that because, you know, he's trying to understand his role and how to do it. But he's going to get better and better. He's going to be a heck of a quarterback. I thought last 2 weeks he's played a little bit more than to my expectations than I thought he would. We put more on him last week against USF, against Miami of Ohio. We're pretty basic. He threw the ball well, threw it down the field, made good reads for most part, except for a few plays. We had about 7 plays in the third quarter on offense that we absolutely just, you know, you can't have those plays. We missed blocks. We missed routes. One of the interceptions that he threw was on the receiver all the way. Just absolutely horrible route that we ran against the coverage. But, you know, it all goes back to one thing. It all goes back to the quarterback, and everybody looks at what happens, and they look at interceptions, and they said, well, the quarterback threw 3. Well, he threw 2 that should have been intercepted, 1 that we'll put on the receiver. But, again, Ross is he's learning curve. He's getting better. Again, he'll get better each week that he plays and each week that he practices and each week that he works with the receivers. So it is what it is.
And then defensively, in the 3 victories this year, 20 points or less allowed. In the 2 losses, obviously 40-plus in those. What can you say about your defense at this point? And I know you just talked about getting somebody back, hopefully a few more faces back coming up, but just how you assess the defense in those 2 losses to South Florida and Houston kind of moving forward.
Yeah, we're better on defense. I think last week we got out-athleted in couple of long runs that they had. But I was proud of the preparation. It's a very mental game on defense when you play against the spread offenses with quarterbacks that can run, and it really puts pressure on you. And they had a very good running back last week. We were in the right spots several times on plays. We just missed the tackle. I thought our guys running the football was very good. We were much better at pursuing the football, getting more people to the point of attack. We made more plays downfield in the 2 losses, but the difference in that game last week, we weren't able to get any turnovers. You've got to create turnovers for your offense, especially when your offense is struggling. You got a new quarterback; he's trying to learn. You got to give them a short field, and we didn't give them a short field. We gave them a long field. A couple of times they had the ball inside the 5, and that really puts pressure on your offense. And so. We had a lot of guys that had winning grades on offense and defense, so we just didn't have enough. I was excited about our offensive line, how we blocked. We're much better now than we were at the beginning of the year, a month and a half ago. And so we've got to continue to get better at all those positions. But, again, it all goes back to mentally not making mistakes at receiver, at quarterback, at running back, and defensive backs. Those things really show up, and especially against teams that are very athletic like USF and Houston.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Next we have Matt Skondisky with This Is Yukon Country.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. Going back to quarterback, I know you would like to have Jason back. When are you hoping to make a decision on him? And then if he can't go, it sounds like you're very pleased with the play from Trail thus far. I know you put Gunner in late in the third. Would you roll with Trail if Hayden can't go?
Yeah, I like Ross. I like what he's doing. I like the way he can run the ball. Again, he's been our quarterback because he's been the best guy in practice since Hayden Moore's gone down. We did play Gunner last week. He was kind of hit and miss, but that's tough when you go in and you haven't played much. Even though you've played a lot of quarterback before, when you come off the bench, he played, I guess, a quarter and a couple of minutes, and he looked a little rusty, and that's where you're going to look. I mean, that's just from not playing. But I still feel confident in both these guys. They work hard in practice. They're good friends. They help each other. They compete, and if we keep competing, we'll get better, no matter who's at quarterback.
And a follow-up on defense. Heading into the year, you had mentioned they were going to get concerned for you based on your play in 2015. How have they played to your liking thus far this year?
The what?
The defense. How have they performed based on your expectations heading into the season?
Our defense?
Yep.
Yeah. We're much better defensively. We made plays. We were I think we were +4 on turnovers going into this game, and we evened it up because we didn't have any, and USF had 4. We're much farther ahead in terms of being aggressive, making plays. It's hard to judge your defense against Houston and USF because the athletes that they have, they're all over the place. They put you on one-on-ones like playing basketball one-on-one. You got to cover them, and even if you got them covered, you got to make a play when they get the ball. It's different types. So we played, 2 very good defenses, and we've held our own. Not that we played good enough to win. Obviously, we didn't win, but much better than we have been in the past. So we'll start getting a few guys back healthy. We need to continue to play smart like we're playing. We have more in a rotation in terms of playing guys that we think can play this level of football. So we've got to play better and better on defense, knowing that we've got a transition on offense, new type of offense, new quarterback, and all the things that go along with that, knowing you're going to make a few mistakes. So defense has got to hold up more of their end of the bargain each week.
You take the next question, please.
And next we have Joey Knight with Tampa Bay Times.
Coach, you've had a chance to see Marlon Mack 3 times now. In your opinion, what makes him so effective as a tailback?
Well, he's got very good vision. He's excellent in open field. They're trying to get him the ball more from motions and things like that. He's just very elusive. He's got very good speed. He's probably the fastest running back that we've seen in a while. But he runs well inside. And, they're trying to find ways, obviously, to get him the football, as anybody would, because of his talent, catching, running. Very impressed. Obviously, we saw the back end of him several times, the way he runs Saturday. He ran hard. And, again, when he needs to, he can lower his shoulder and run. So he's a versatile back, a guy that can make plays, doing pretty much anything, blocking in the backfield. And we've seen him, as you said, for several years, and he gets better and better.
Any time for one more for Coach Tuberville, please.
And our next question comes from Bill Cook with GoBearsCats.com.
Hi, Tommy.
Good morning, William.
I just wonder, what have you seen so far that gives you encouragement for the rest of the season that things will get better in the conference?
Just the work ethic of the players. They're into it. They've been into every game, even though we're 3-2. We've lost a couple of games. Every player's practiced hard, worked hard. They understand the situation. They understand that some areas has to play better than others because we have some young guys playing. But, we got a good group of guys, and, I'm proud of their work ethic. And, who knows what the future holds for wins and losses as we get into these next 7 games. but our back's been against the wall pretty much the last few games, just for the fact that when you play a new trigger guy, you better play great everywhere else to beat good teams like Houston and USF, and we didn't play great everywhere else. We got to help him out. So hopefully in the future, we can get back to, Hayden will be back and give us 3 guys that we can choose from. Offensive line's getting much better. That's very encouraging because we had to. You got to be able to run the ball. I don't know how many yards we had this week, but probably around 150, and that's our goal. So those kind of things, and keep playing better on defense. Get better. We're getting a lot of confidence on defense. Our kicking game has been lax. Again, our kicker, we thought he could go last week. In pregame warm-up, he couldn't go, and so we didn't have a holder for a left-footed kicker, so that put us in a bind. And we've just had little things that have really got to us this year in terms of consistency. So, but we got to work through that, and we will. Our guys are hard workers, dedicated, got a good group of seniors.